Well, hello, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report, as well as Joe Boo's day job. I'm actually working on one of my rental properties. We got to put a new roof on, so I've been picking up some more materials. We need to put some sheathing on a couple places where we got some soft spots, and I haven't done one of these in quite a while, but I am checking in on the price of lumber. So you'll remember right after the pandemic, or kind of during the pandemic, we had the lumber spike that was insane. If you were doing a project back then, it was crazy how much plywood and everything had gotten, all the lumber. Although some of it is still a little bit high, but I want to see how bad it is in comparison here 2 years later. Now you'll remember 3/4 inch subflooring here. There's two types that Home Depot has. They have the moisture protected one, which you can leave outside for longer, and the less expensive one. But look at this. OBS subflooring, $24. You might remember it went up to $98. Now, the better one, the one that is actually the premium, is only $30. This is where you say, this was kind of crazy. Now, the cabinet grade plywoods, they haven't changed too much. They're still quite high. This has not moved at all, but this is basically because this is actually Baltic birch, as in like, we've got the war in Europe. So the price of lumber and things like that, the maple and the birch plywood is still really high. 89 for maple, 81 for birch. It hasn't changed much. It's gone down about $5. And let's see, oak plywood hasn't budged at all. But here, this is where I'm actually really surprised too, because we had to do the decking for the red brick house, and we had come off of the peaks on some of the lumber and things. So I want to take a look real quick while we're here. So the decking boards, I'm kind of surprised because the 16-foot decking boards right here, now these aren't the premium ones, these are the regular ones at $12.48. They're actually lower now than before the pandemic was, where they were really cheap. This is actually a surprise for me too. Now, I don't know why, because I had to buy a lot of this for the red brick house, but you'll see the 2x10s pressure treated are 28. Okay, you can understand that. That's a big piece of wood. It's pressure treated. But then the price jumps up so much for 2 more inches to $40. Now, that's high, but when I had to buy those for the red brick house to build the supporting pieces down there, it was $58. So $12 a piece, that's major. You may remember 2x4s were as high as about $9.80. And that was crazy, because if you needed 10 2x4s, you were spending $100. Now the price of, now these are the 105s 2x4s. That's still a little bit high, 512, but still not that bad. The 16-footers were $24. They're $10.94. So, that's major if you're building your house right now. And 2x4s, the regular 2x4s pre-cut, I think are $355. Now, before the pandemic and all that stuff, I think it was about $278 for them. 2x6s are still kind of high at $808. You think about an 8-foot 2x6, $808. That's kind of weird, because it's only $10 for 16-foot 2x4s. That seems a little bit high to jump from $355 to $808. OSB, $1535. Now that has been, I'm surprised actually that there hasn't been a price jump on this, because right now with the hurricane coming through down in Florida, that price may spike because of the need for boarding up a lot of stuff. But even here, the 2x10s, 21. When I had to buy these 2 years ago, it was actually had dropped down to 28. So definitely it is a little cheaper now to build your house than it used to be, and 29 for the 2x12s. That's not bad at all. One other thing I want to also point out too, and this is a little secret, sorry Home Depot. Home Depot now has their Romex, okay? So it's $89 a roll right now, When we were having to do all the wiring 2 years ago at the Red Brick House, it was 129 here. And you can see 129 for the 12 gauge, right? It's still pretty good. It's 159. But here's a little secret. Let me get away from the guy from the service desk there. Going to the supply house, places that specialize in stuff. So when I go to the supply house, the price at Home Depot when they were $129 a roll for the Romex 14 gauge was $89 at the supply house. A lot of times what happens, people think that when you go to a specialty store that the prices are higher. Sometimes they are, but here's the other part of this too. The quality sometimes is a lot higher too. So hopefully, I'm listening here. I've got music, so hopefully it won't get copywritten. But that's what we got looking as far as materials right now. The prices have definitely come down, and it is going to be a little bit better to get this stuff squared away. All right, people. Peace out.